Aging Aitken Robertson to courtroom number 2. The jury is back with a verdict. Members of the jury, how do you find the accused? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty on all accounts, Your Honor.
Welcome to Legally Speaking, the Aitken Robertson YouTube channel, where we dive into essential legal topics to keep you informed. I'm your host, Melanie van Orde, licensed paralegal at Aitken Robertson, and today we are addressing a critical issue, youth and DUI cases. So joining me today is counsel Will Hume, who brings a passion for legal advocacy. Will has a background in criminology from the University of Toronto and a law degree from Borough-Laskin Faculty of Law. Will is well equipped to shed some light on this important topic, and together we'll explore the unique challenges and legal considerations in DUI cases involving the youth. So stay tuned as we unpack this complex issue and provide some insights on how these cases are handled in the legal system. Hi, Will.
Hi, Melanie. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great, thank you.
So, Will, let's jump in. What are the specific legal considerations and consequences for youth who are charged with DUI as compared to adults?
Absolutely. So when a young person is charged with a DUI, there are several differences compared to when it's an adult. One example of this would be that there's no real legal limit for youth. When it comes to youth, there's zero tolerance laws, essentially. Adults must have a blood alcohol content, or BAC, that's below 0.08%. Youth, however, are expected to have no detectable amount of alcohol in their system when driving. Another difference between youth and adults when it relates to DUIs is the amount that could be set for fines. Courts recognize that because of age and financial circumstances, youth, of course, are not able to pay the same amount of fines that an adult can. Given their age and the limited financial means, youth fines can range in the hundreds of dollars area, while typical fines for an adult are usually $1,000 or more. When it comes to punishment as well, youth charged with a DUI face different consequences compared to adults. For youth sentencing, there's a much larger focus on rehabilitation, education, and prevention, but of course, more on that to come. Even where repeat offenders are concerned, adults convicted of multiple DUIs can face an automatic jail sentence, whereas youth cannot. Incarceration, though, is still a possibility if the circumstances are severe, or if the youth has committed numerous offenses. It's also worth noting that while these considerations and consequences typically apply to youth, they do not necessarily apply every time. For example, young offenders that are aged 16 to 17, so kind of on the tail end of being a youth, they could be treated as adults if the circumstances call for it.
And then, well, you touched upon it, but how does the legal system address the rehabilitation and support of young individuals who have been convicted of DUI?
Yeah, rehabilitation and support are key for young individuals convicted of a DUI. And this can be seen throughout the youth court system. So of course, youth offenders are put before the youth court, which focuses more on rehabilitation as opposed to punishment. Youth court is designed to account for the fact that these are young people that are before the court. Proceedings typically carry more privacy, more confidentiality than those in adult court. And this helps safeguard the youth from having the charge inhibit their future life opportunities like work, school, community involvement, anything of that nature. Privacy also extends to the youth's criminal record in the sense that they're often sealed or destroyed after a certain period of time, of course, depending on the jurisdiction. Courts recognize that youth are more vulnerable than an adult offender. From peer pressure to failing to understand the consequences of their actions, youth offenders are treated with a larger focus on rehabilitation and support so that they can simultaneously learn from their errors while not having their futures sacrificed.
Are there any programs or alternative measures that's available for youth offenders that aim to prevent future offenses and support their reintegration back into society?
Absolutely. Courts may require youth to attend alcohol education or treatment programs as part of their sentence. Youth that are convicted of a DUI are more likely to be ordered to partake in alcohol education or treatment programs as a component of their sentence. This is to account for helping young people learn from their mistakes and address the factors that contributed to the offense occurring. In some cases, community service hours can be ordered as a way for the youth to make up for the harm that has been caused and to help them reintegrate into society.
And how can parents or guardians effectively support a young person who is facing a DUI charges, both legally and most importantly, emotionally?
Yeah, well, there's the saying, it takes a village, and this is true even when a young person's facing DUI charges. Support from parents, guardians, relatives, or even trained professionals are key in rehabilitating young offenders. Typically, you hear about the right to counsel or right to a lawyer when dealing with adult offenders. And this applies for youth as well, but it even extends further than that to involve a right to have a parent or guardian or relative present during the police questioning, just as a lawyer would be. Parents are often required to be notified when their child has been charged with a crime, and they may also be required to appear in court alongside the offender. It's important to note that while parents can and should be involved, the case is ultimately that of the youth. So when it comes to legal representation, lawyers are to take instructions from the client, that being the youth themselves. And in order for a parent to be involved, the youth must sign a document that authorizes the lawyer to communicate what would otherwise be considered privileged information to the parent. A criminal case can, of course, be very stressful and very complicated, especially where a youth is involved. That's why the system allows for avenues for support from the accused's family or guardian to assist with these strains and struggles.
Well, thank you so much, Will, for all the information. That was really helpful. And thank you to everyone else for joining us today on the Aitken Robertson YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and take care. Thank you for tuning in to Legally Speaking, proudly brought to you by Aitken Robertson Criminal Defence. We represent clients facing criminal charges all over Ontario, providing you with legal support and dedicated advocacy. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more content, please like and subscribe to our channel. For more information, visit our website. We also offer free books on various types of criminal charges, which you can request on our website or by using the QR codes on your screen now. For legal assistance, call us today or visit our website to request a meeting with one of our experienced lawyers or licensed paralegals. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Legally Speaking.